Hello everyone and welcome back to Dune Awakening. Okay then, let's go ahead and pick up exactly where we left off. Alrighty then, let's get started. Well, you might be able to tell that something is different about the planet. We have a sandstorm going on, but I am out in the open and I am not getting damaged. That is because this is the start of the Coriolis storm. This is the storm that will wipe off the deep desert and reset it completely. Thankfully, it should not affect the Haga Basin all that much. I think it will reorganize some of the resources, but that's going to be pretty much it. So anyways, this is the first Coriolis storm. This might date the actual recording time. I think this will actually go online on YouTube quite a bit after that, but you should be used to it by now. So anyways, the base didn't really change all that much in between episodes. I did make the ramp a bit steeper, but that's about it. I just wanted to make it a little bit easier for the buggy to go upstairs. And you might have been able to tell that there is something on top of the base, and that is what I want to show you next. But before we get to that, yes, we do have a buggy, and let me tell you, this guy have been busy in between episodes because, well, if we zoom out on the map, yes, I have been busy exploring, and, well, in the last episode we just finished off by getting started on steel, but I really got into the swing of things, and, well, I managed to grind my way all the way through to aluminium. So I have used this buggy a couple of times. I had to go down into the rift and I mined up a lot of those crystals, and then I mined a lot of carbon. And let me tell you, if you want to do very efficient mining, you want to go for the buggy. Anyways, that only really takes care of the steel tiered items. And as I've said, I also went for aluminium. And that happens in this area. And, well, as it happens, aluminium is one of the resources that we need to make the Ornithopter. And yeah, I basically spent the entire day grinding out the resources that we need to build one. I suppose technically if I knew exactly where I needed to go and what I needed to do, I could have done it, I suppose, in a couple of hours. But yeah, I was completely new at this, so I had to spend basically a whole day figuring out where I needed to go, what I needed to gather, and all that kind of stuff. But in the end, we have managed. Yes, we do have all the parts for an Ornithopter. And that extra addition on top of the base is, well, okay, not a permanent hanger, but a temporary one. Basically what I had in mind is that we will build this Ornithopter. I already have the parts made. So let's just jump upstairs, there we go. And we will use this Ornithopter to go out and scout for a new base location. That is because, well, I think we are pretty much done in this area, even this area. I think we are ready to start moving into this place, and as it happens, I think this place is going to be pretty much perfect for a new base. It has plenty of cliffs, it has plenty of canyons, it has a very desolate looking area, so yeah, I think we will settle right here. And thanks to the Ornithopter, it shouldn't be too big of a problem moving everything over there. But before we build the thing, can I... Alright, let me just take a look at the researches. We will need Ornithopter storage. Let me just check. This one can store only 10 items. That's not great. Max volume 500 is not too bad, but the 10 item slots is not very encouraging. I will research it, and we will need a lot of aluminium to make it. 55, oh geez, that's a lot. Yeah, basically, building this thing was very, very expensive. Every single part was, for example, the generator was 35 aluminium, and let's just show you what it takes to make a single piece of aluminium. To make a single piece, we need 200 water and 7 aluminium ore. That's a lot. Anyways, I have been busy gathering these resources, so we did have enough to make the Ornithopter, but I don't think we can make the storage. So if we want to move, we will have to make it in our own inventory right here. So anyways, I think for now, I will take enough resources with us to at least place down a land claim and maybe maybe a generator and maybe a small structure. So anyways, for the land claim, we will need, that's the sub-fief, we need the advanced one. This one will take 40 salvage metal. So let's go ahead and take some out. Yeah, I have been so busy, I have no organization happening right now. I will just take 100 metals. I think that's going to be fine. Good, and obviously as much granite as we can take. First things first, where is the granite? There you are. Okay, I will take as much as we can. Good. Now, there is a new stone in that area, basalt, but let's just take a look. In the construction research, basically we have nothing, anything related to basalt up here, and these are just tools. Now, plastinium maybe, we will need basalt for that, I am not sure. So, wait, I suppose we can check in the refinery. We have this new medium refinery now. So, blast stone maybe? Oh, there we go, basalt stone. Okay, that explains it. Okay, so we have learned something. Obviously, that will come so much later because that is basically the last tier of resources. Anyways, don't delay any longer. Let's just grab something to drink and then we'll get to work. Build the Ornithopter and we'll take it out on a small ride. I already took it out for a very, very quick test flight. It was just a couple of seconds. I just wanted to see how it handles. It's basically, you know, WASD, space to go up, control to go down. Very, very simple helicopter styled controls. Anyways, let's get to work. Assemble mode, and we need the chassis first. You know what, might as well make it face the outside. So can you please face that way? Okay, so this is the base of the Ornithopter. Then we need a generator. Then we need an engine. Then we need the cockpit. Then we need the hull. And we need 4 wings. And let me tell you, making all this was very expensive and very time consuming. But it is now finished. Now the question is, did the engine maintain the fuel after I disassembled it? So if I check the manage vehicle, yeah, fuel 0%. As expected. Okay, we might need to make a couple of extra fuel cells because I think we are completely out. Refueling that thing is very expensive. Let me just check in the boxes. I know that I don't think we have any in here. Yeah, we have nothing in there. What about you? Nothing. We have a single fuel cell here, but any more? Nothing. No. No. Nope. We do have a tiny little bit here. And that's it. Right. I don't think this is going to be enough to refuel the Topter completely. So let's just check. To make one of these, we just need fuel cells. For the medium one, more fuel cells, but a bit of extra water as well. Okay, I think I will just quickly go and pick up some fuel cells. Hopefully it wouldn't be a problem. Yeah, this Coriolis storm is really hampering visibility. Oh yeah, by the way, I did pick up a new suspensor belt. Or not picked it up, I made it myself. It is the full suspensor belt, basically the final one, I believe. Let me just check. So in the research menu, exploration. Okay, we will have a responsive planar suspensor belt. But yeah, this is the full suspensor belt that I wanted to get my hands on. We no longer have to rely on the Emperor's wings, which is going to be very good for us. Because that one was very, very fragile. This one should be a little bit more, more sturdy. Anyways, we are looking for energy cells. Okay, so welcome back to the base. We should have enough fuel cells now to craft at least a couple of fuel cells. So you know what? Let's just go for medium ones. And we can make a couple of them. Okay, that should tide us over. And I also picked up a little bit of blood. By the way, we do have a new blood extractor, which is right here. The quirk of this one, it's a unique one obviously. The quirk of this unique blood extractor is that it can filter out some water straight from the blood. It is not going to be a lot of blood, but it is pretty much worth it because, well, we need to refine less of it. So I think that's great. Obviously, for this to work, we need to have a liter gun. So obviously, most of the time I actually leave the base with a less than full liter gun just to take advantage of this. Anyways, the fuel is finished. Good. Okay, so let's go upstairs and let's refuel this puppy and let's take it out for a spin. This is going to be the first actual voyage of this craft. So let's refuel. Yeah, we do have a couple of very small cells, so I think those are being used up first. 92, and we should have, yeah, we have these two medium ones. And let's just check the status. So as I said, I took it out for a very small couple of seconds of worth of flight, so it is slightly damaged, but it's fine. Yeah, I think we are good to go. It is daytime. The only downside is that we have the Coriolis storm happening. Thankfully, as I've said, it is not strong this way up north, but theoretically in a deep desert it is rampaging right now. Anyways, let's go ahead and hop in. And yes, we will use this one as our respawn point. Now, thankfully the wings are not going to clip, so we don't need to worry about that at least. This is why this small entrance is good enough. And we are off. Oh yeah, by the way, in the meantime, the sandworm have been fixed, so they are a danger once again. Thankfully, it is not a big problem for us. Anyways, I will move as high up as we can, and then let's take a look at the vulture mode. Theoretically, after we are high enough, for example now, if you press shift, yeah, we go into this glide mode, basically the vulture mode. And I think if we go down, yeah, we gather speed. If we go up, we lose speed. So pretty self-explanatory. And if we just glide, yes, we are losing altitude. So yeah, pretty self-explanatory, I think. Also, in vulture mode, we are in free look mode apparently. Okay then, so we are now approaching this place. There is an Atreides stronghold up here somewhere. Yeah, there it is, on top of that mountain. Or not the mountain, but the cliffside. Also, I was wondering, I have seen this thing a couple of times in my travels. Is this a NPC or a player base? I think this looks like a player base, but I just want to make sure. Yeah, this is a player base. I think it's using either the Atreides or the Caladan construction set. Interesting. So, anyways, as I said, I would like to find a new home in this zone. So, let's take a look what we have to work with. Basically, I would like to... Well, I do want to build relatively high up, but I still want it to be accessible by cars, so I'm not going to do that thing that base did. So where should we go? You know what? This one does look rather promising. It is right next to the Atreides base, so this might be something that I want to consider. Although we would have these ugly boxes as our neighbors, so maybe not. Yeah, not very good looking. And if we wanted to extend the construction's footprint, they would be a problem, so maybe not here. Obviously this is an NPC base, so we cannot build here. Also, I don't remember what the fuel was when we set out. I think we have been using quite a bit of fuel, although I am not sure how much fuel we are using in glide mode. Anyways, I don't think this particular area is going to be good. What about... this is basically the northern edge of the map, but we might want to consider maybe some of these. Or maybe you can build along this wall as well. That would work for me too. Also, let me check. If we look down, I think we are moving down. If I look up, yeah, we are moving up. So apparently it is view dependent how we are flying as well. Anyways, yeah, something like this would be kind of nice, I think. But maybe slightly more interesting. Now, where should we settle down? Obviously, I am not the only one who had this idea. Is this a player base? No, I think this is a... No, wait, that's the outpost, so this must be a player base. Yes, it is. Also, yeah, this guy made a pretty good attempt at mimicking the movie architecture, I think. Yeah, I think they did a pretty good job. Anyways, don't get distracted. We are looking for a place to call home. Oh yeah, by the way, I had to enter that area right in front of us. And let me tell you, that was quite hard. When I entered, I only had, I think, iron or maybe steel level equipment, and they are definitely much higher than that, so I barely managed to get out of there with a intact skin. Let me take a look at that place. I think that one looks not claimed, and I don't see any markers there. I think we might be in luck. Also, are we getting damaged? Because now the HUD indicator is yellow for the copter. If we are getting damaged, that's not great. Do we want to settle here? Anyways, first things first. Let's get out. Let me check you over. Oh, okay. Damage is not too bad, so that is just the fuel. That's a load off my mind. I was a bit worried that this sandstorm is damaging us, but that didn't happen with the other vehicle, so I would have been surprised if it did actually damage us. Anyways, I'm not sure if I want to deal with this amount of uneven terrain. I am not sure if we want to use this as our base. Plus, I don't think we can enter it with a vehicle. Yeah, I don't think this will work for us. Okay, we can move on. But first, let's make sure we don't run out of fuel, so a refuel, please. Good, and that used up quite a bit of this medium fuel cell, so yeah, this guy is quite power hungry. Anyways, let's carry on. Where should we go? This is not the edge of the map, so maybe not. What about this way? This looks like a completely open desert. I mean, I am not opposed to it. Not opposed to the idea. By the way, in glide mode we are about 90 kilometers per hour. In regular travel mode, about 75-ish. So yeah, glide mode is a lot more efficient. But for this we obviously need to gather some height. But yes, this looks like a completely open desert. Because of the worms, obviously not ideal. I don't think we will settle here. And the absence of layer housing shows that I am not alone in that sentiment. Now entering Sheol. You know what? Since we are here, did I bring the... No, I didn't bring the resource, not the resource, but the survey probe. Unfortunate, but should be expected by now. By the way, I suppose we could go and leave the Haga Basin right now. We could look at the overworld map as well. So yeah, tell you what, let's head straight west and let's see what happens if we try to leave the map. It appears we have a small patch of spice. I don't think I will bother because, well, that is not what I want to do right now. I think we could do it, but don't bother. Also, yeah. Don't crash. So how far are we from the... Okay, so now we are at the edge of the map. There we go. Yeah, let's go to the world map. The overland map is the way in which players move between areas on Arrakis. Visually, it is a representation of the entire northern hemisphere of Arrakis. It is a multiplayer map where players can see each other moving around. Movement on the overland map costs fuel. Time on the overland map costs water. Okay, now I do believe we should have... no, I don't want to go back to Haga Basin. I do believe we can find outposts. Yeah, for example, water deposit. So yeah, we are not going to be in a pickle, but yeah, anyways, let's stop here for a second. There we go. So we are right here. The deep desert is up here, Parko village down there, and Arrakis down there. Okay, so we have not a lot of places to go right now. Yeah, let's just go back. Oh yeah, and if I enter Haga Basin from here, are we going to end up at that part of the map? Yes. Okay, good to know. By the way, don't linger on the sand. Quick. Don't get eaten by the worm. So yeah, you know, for example, if we are on this edge of the map and we really wanted to get to this end very quickly, we could just leave Haga Basin, go around and enter the map from there. I suppose that would work. Anyways, you know what? Speaking of, let's leave the map this way once again, and I will enter it from the north. Good, and I would like to enter Haga Basin from here. Okay, so theoretically, oh, we are even a little bit further south than I would expect it. So anyways, well, we have not surveyed this area yet, so tell you what, let's head west from here and let's see what we can find. As I have said a couple of times already, I would like to find a place that we can build basically the same way we did in the old place, and I would like it to be accessible by a truck, so basically on the ledge of a cliff. Western shield wall. If I had a survey probe, I would survey it. This looks like a Harkonnen base from the architecture at least. Let me see, how far does the headlight... Okay, so the headlight extends this far. And yeah, this is definitely a Harkonnen architecture. Anyways, let's keep looking. I think the shield wall is our best bet. Somewhere along here, but unfortunately that place is pretty much completely taken by now. Maybe this one. No, I don't think so. On the map, this looks like a land bridge, but it is definitely not a proper land bridge. We can't drive through this one, unfortunately. I am not even sure if we can access it by vehicle through this way. It's a bit hard to tell because of the weather, unfortunately. This one might work. So I think we can drive through here. So drive through here, and no, it is not accessible by a vehicle. I do not want to rely on the flying vehicles completely, basically. If I want to use my buggy for mining, I want to have that option. What about this one? Okay, this one doesn't go up to this plateau. I think if we extend it, I think we can build the ramp. Maybe we can extend it far enough that we can build a ramp here as well. But no, I don't think this will work. Okay, there we go, finally. Please don't bug out on me. You have been very expensive. So, anyways. Oh yeah, by the way, the new suspensor belt is basically completely efficient at maintaining momentum. So if I jump and keep holding space, as you can see, we are going up completely fine and we are not losing momentum, but it is very power hungry. There we go. So if you...
storm is approaching.
Yeah, that's fine. The Coriolis storm will plateau in 8 hours, so that's fine. Anyways, as I was trying to say, this suspensor bat is very power hungry, so if you want to use it, you might want to get your hands on a proper battery. I am using a Mark IV, and even this one is a little bit not the best, basically. Anyways, I think we can use this one. So yeah, I think we can extend the back of the base this way and build a small ramp. That's going to be fine. What I'm mostly interested in is this place. Yeah, plenty of good open air to build on. I think we might have a winner. Okay, so let's go ahead and maybe place down the land claim. Except... what's all this red? Oh, we need to keep this place clean because of this pet. That's fine. I don't mind. In fact, that's even better. We don't need to worry about others building behind us. How far does this encroach on the base? Okay, you know what? Let me just align this one with this red zone. There we go. And I will place this starter part of the base right here. So we definitely have access to this area for the ramp. And then we will extend over the cliff. Yeah, I think that would make a bit more sense. So, first things first. If this one aligns, yeah, I think it is pretty much completely aligned with that road. Okay. I think this is where we will settle down next. Let's just place this one here. Okay, so the place... no, wait, there's a sub-fifth console. Demolish. Yes. I want the advanced sub-fifth console, please. This one. This one is a bit bigger. So are you still aligned correctly? No, you are not. Now you should be okay. Yeah. Okay, if I place it here, that should be fine, right? Let's take a look. Yeah, I think we can build a small ramp here. We can make it go up to the base. That's fine. And how far does this extend right now? Basically right on the edge of the cliff. I don't know how far I want to go out. Maybe a full extension would be too much. You know what? For now, I will just go ahead and build a ramp, and then I will move this console to just barely cover it. I think that's going to be fine. Okay, let's just drink real quick. There we go. So, let's go ahead and build a small ramp. This will also determine the actual starting level of the base. So I think it's going to be, yeah, right here. Okay. Obviously, well, I suppose we technically could use this one as well. We did use this one for the previous base, and we used this one for the original starter base in the Hugger base in South. This one does have a couple of nice different parts. Let me just take a look. Yeah, you know what? This one does look a little bit too artificial. I think this one fits the aesthetic of the game a little bit more. Yeah, you know what? Let's go for this one. So, foundation. And I will place you here. So this is the start of the base. Does it line up with the... Yeah, that's fine. So the base will sit on this foundation. Okay, I suppose we might as well just go ahead and start building the ramp. First things first, let's make sure we build a big enough foundation right here. Okay, why can't I build on this one? There we go. That's good. And yeah, I think we can have the garage right here. Let's just extend it all the way to the cliff wall, and that's it. Okay, we will have a nice double door here, or we could also have... Well, first things first, let's make sure we actually protect this place. So let's build a generator there for now. And do we have any leftover fuel cells? Yes, we do. Good. So 1.5 days for the time being, at least. So this place is now covered. By the way, this one will give us 100 volts. And it is already being used on what? What is using power right now? Oh, yeah, I think the sub-fifth console uses power. Well, it makes sense because that is what's shielding the base. Okay, so let's move this one up here so we don't lose it. There we go. So let's build this ramp. As I've said, I think I will actually use the shield entrance. And basically, yeah, let's just use these lane looking walls for now. And I think, yeah, we can have the entrance right here. Okay, so let's just cover it up later. I will change these walls out at some point I just want to have something to aim for, basically. So, in the game, we do have special walls. I believe facilities and utilities, these. Okay, steel ingot, cobalt paste and calibrated servox. We have everything at home, so we can come back later and place this one. That's fine. Basically, this is just a shielded opening. You might have seen it on other bases. Anyways, I just want to have something to aim for. Okay then, let's start building the ramp itself. Let's just go back to this building set. For now, I will not make a straight ramp going into the opening. I would like to have some landing here to start with. Should we use foundations or... yeah, you know what, let's use these. That's fine. And we are out of resources. That's fine. Oh yeah, by the way, this is the basalt rock that I've talked about. But we are not interested in that right now. We are interested in good old granite. And there you are. And yeah, this one gave us 144. This cutter ray is very efficient. And by the way, this is aluminium. Okay, I think more than 300 should be enough, right? I think so. Okay, so let's go ahead and build this ramp once and for all. Take out the construction tool and yeah, let's have a small foundation right here. And then we can start building the ramp. Obviously incline and these. I don't think I will go for the 45 degree right away. I would like to create a small change in the steepness basically. So I don't know how much is this, basically half than 45 degrees and then the 45 degrees and then can I make the gentle... I suppose this might work. No. Let's just use the gentle one all the way through. Good, I think we can have a couple of extra foundations here. Also, what's with the church bells? Oh yeah, there's another player with a mining buggy. Okay, and I think... this might clip a little bit, but I think we might be okay. No, definitely not. Or, I suppose we can enter... no, we cannot enter the base from this way. This one is way too steep. If we want to do this, we have to enter from this way. Okay, let's take out the steeper ramps. Yeah, these definitely work. That's fine. Okay, so... I think the buggy can manage this one. If it cannot, I suppose we can add... no, we cannot. Okay, fine. Let's just move the subfifth console now. So, this one demolish, yes. I should have used a part picker, that's fine. We need the advanced subfifth console, yes. Also, we need some more salvage metal. I could have sworn that we get everything back if we demolish base buildings. Was I wrong about that? Yeah, this should be plenty enough. Also, by the way, how are you holding up? Oh geez, you are being damaged. Not great. Let's make this quick. So, let's build a 5th console. And let's try to make it as close to the ramp as possible, basically. So, yeah, that is already too close. By the way, are we aligned? Not quite. Now we are aligned. Basically, we just need to do this. So we are perfectly aligned now. Oh, right, no. We need to go the other way. Sorry. Confirm. Yeah, we need to do this instead. So, too close to a no building zone. By the way, are we aligned? Not quite. Now we are good. So, get as close as physically possible. There. Okay, so theoretically we are as close as we can be. Oh, okay. If we use the original orientation, we should be better off. Let's just double check. So if I build this one, here. Yes, I think this is better. Yeah, let's go for this. Okay, so can I place that corner piece there? Also, is this in the actual building zone? I am not sure. I think it is. Yeah, it is good. Okay. So, this corner piece, can I put this in? No, I cannot. Just barely too big. This would solve our problems with the... You know what? Let's start the ramp here instead. Let's demolish everything. Or maybe not everything, but enough to start a new foundation here. So I want to make sure that we are right around this level, because we do have that stone that I don't want to clip through in the base. So first things first, a foundation. And this one will be completely aligned. Yeah, this is perfect, right? Looks perfect to me. So, as I've said, I would like this to be the perfectly correct height. That is pretty much perfect. Wow, this one, I think this last wedge, oh sorry, this last incline, I think it's pretty much the exact right distance from the wall. Okay, I think we have managed to do this. Okay, so let's just move the console here real quick so we don't lose it. Good, and now we can destroy all this. Don't lose the generator, please. Move this one as well. Okay, we will definitely need to extend the base over the cliff, but you know what? It's going to be fine. Alright, and don't forget to drink. There we go. Yeah, unfortunately, this zone is not exactly the most hospitable, but that's fine. So, anyways, I think from here we can use the gentle incline. Good, and yeah, definitely need to have one more because otherwise this stone would clip through the foundations. Next up, the walls. Now, as I said, this is just going to be a start of this base. I will switch things out later, but I just want to have something to house the different facilities, and we will worry about the beautification later. Okay, I think this will do for the time being. It is, yeah, technically water sealed, so we should be okay. Yeah, I just wanted to add a tiny bit of extra detail to the base so, you know, our neighbors know that they are not dealing with a complete barbarian. Yeah, yes, I am a complete amateur, but I am not a savage. So anyways, should we seal this ramp from the bottom? How much stuff do we have left? We have... Yeah, I think we have enough resources to do this. Yeah, might as well. But for this one... Yeah, we need to get rid of the foundations, I think. Because... Let me just check. If I place a wall, for example... Can I place a wall, please? Okay, maybe a wedge. So if I place a wedge... Yeah, that's not going to be flush with the foundation, unfortunately. Demolish, maybe the other one. No. Pretty much the same. So yeah, to make everything flush, we will need to... Yeah, build everything without foundations. Okay, that's fine. Do we have any more foundations down here? No. But we need to make sure that this will not collapse after I remove this one. So to prevent that, we will need a floor. Yeah, this one. And we need to make sure it has some support. So we need some structural parts. Well, I think this, since this is going to be hidden, we can just use this one. I think that's going to be fine. And I think theoretically it is attached to the ground, so I think this one will be enough, right? Yeah, no, nothing is collapsing, so I think it's fine. Let's just be extra sure. Yeah, now it's definitely supported. Okay, as I said, I would like this to be covered up. So let's start placing some walls and wedge walls and stuff like that. Okay, I think this is where I will leave it for the time being. So, we have built a nice little ramp going into the base. Yeah, this will do nicely. And obviously, I will make the actual building a lot nicer over time. Well, before we go, let me try something. if I switch this corner out, right, this is where the support is. Let's make sure that we don't lose the support, so pick this one and put the new one there, so everything is supported. I would like to make this corner rounded, so demolish these railings and this floor, and I would like to build a roof piece but around it, this one. There we go, and obviously a nice little rounded railing, there we go. And can I place a wall that looks nice? Yes, I think I can. There we go. Okay, I think this way it looks a bit nicer. And yeah, now we are completely dying of thirst. Not great, but I am pretty much happy with this ramp. Obviously it will make it a bit nicer over time, but for the time being this will do. Okay, let's quickly go home before we die. Before we go, let me just get a sip from the flowers nearby, and then we will go. Where are the flowers? Don't die, please. Might be too late. Where did I have the flowers? There we go. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. That was very close. Okay, now we can go. This way we are not going to die along the way. Ah, there was the flower. Fine. I didn't notice. So, anyways, now we have a new base. I think in between episodes I will make it a little bit nicer, but as a start it's not too bad. Anyways, I think I will say goodbye now because I already have 3 episodes in the back burner that I need to edit. I just wanted to get this base finished and work on it in between, you know, editing sessions. So yeah, I just wanted to have something to work on while I'm editing. So anyways, I think I will go home and I will say goodbye right now. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, you can leave a like, leave a comment, and maybe subscribe to the channel if you want. If you would like to support me a little bit more, you can do so by clicking the join button and becoming a channel member, which will give you an early and ad-free access to these videos. Once again, thank you for watching and thank you very much for your support. I will see you in the next one. Thank you and goodbye.